Hi everybody, how are you? Some of you might know me, some of you might not. My name is Kelley Brophy and I've been working at this wonderful senior center for probably about 8 months now. I love it here. And I'm here today to start a program with you that's called Nirvana. And it's through Nirvana Fitness. And we're not going to do too much of the exercises for Nirvana today because I wanted to talk to you about a few things that we can do that will really enhance our experience. So for starters, Nirvana is going to be here on Friday mornings at 8:15, and when you come, bring a chair and a mask, and they will tell you when you get here where we're going to be doing the class. But the class is really all about connecting with yourself, relaxing, and at the same time, we will be doing a little bit of body movement too, so that we are activating our body right along with our breathing and our thought process, and it's really wonderful. I was very lucky to attend a seminar on Sunday with Dr. Herbert Benson. A lot of you probably know him, and I bring Dr. Benson's information into every mindfulness class and yoga training that I do. So I'm going to talk to you about that for just a second. We always feel that it's very hard to meditate, and Dr. Benson he actually runs the wellness center at Mass General Hospital. He is probably about 87 years old, and he's an absolute rock star in the wellness and alternative medicine field. And he's done a lot of research on what it really takes to meditate. Just a really quick synopsis of how he figured all this out. It started back in the 60s when he was in school, and he was in Boston on the Common, in the school though, at Harvard, and he saw the transcendental meditators out on the Common. And it was during a really bad flu outbreak. Everybody else had gone home except for these transcendental meditators. So that really sparked this doctor in training's curiosity, and he went over and asked them why they weren't isolating and why they weren't sick. Not that we shouldn't, we should definitely isolate right now. But they felt that it was from their mindfulness practice. So he asked several of them to come back to Harvard University, go into one of their facilities and actually get hooked up to leads, and they went. And they discovered so many things about what happens to the brain when we're able to meditate and just kind of soften up our brain a little bit. And it's amazing things. So the seminar that we had on Sunday was with Dr. Benson, strictly about how this helps us through COVID and how our immune system is also connected to his form of meditation. So here's the thing that he tells us. There's 2 rules to really positive meditation. The first rule is think about one thing. And the second rule is when you don't think about one thing and your mind wanders, don't punish yourself. Just go back to thinking about the first thing. So that's all we need to do to clear our mind and to allow our bodies to go into a relaxation response as opposed to the fight or flight response. So this is like the counter to that, and we're going to use that today. So when you have other thoughts come in, don't fight them, just be like a hello thought and just let it go along, because the last thing we want to do is add any stress to ourselves at all. So let's get into a nice comfortable position. I'm not gonna be picky about the position that you sit in. Maybe later on we might get into some diaphragmatic positions, but for right now I want you to just be in a really comfortable place. If you're sitting in a chair, let your legs hang. Don't let your feet hold you up unless you need them to. Like, just really relax them. Allow your arms to really relax. The shoulders, which tend to get very uptight and stressed. When we're stressed, we don't even realize it. We want to consciously allow these shoulders to relax. And the second thing I'm going to talk to you about is our breathing. So the average person, believe it or not, takes about 18 to 20 breaths per minute. And what we really need is 5 to 8 breaths per minute, which sounds crazy. It's such a big difference. And here's where we're kind of doing a little bit too much breathing. We have 5 lobes in between our 2 lungs. We've got 3 on one side and 2 on the other. And the reason that other one has only 2 is because it needs room for the heart. So the typical person, when we breathe, we inhale just enough to fill up that very first lobe, and that's up here, so our upper chest rises. Where we really want to get to is consciously filling up all 5 of those lobes. So I bring my Hoberman sphere. I love these things. They're They're not meant as a breathing tool, but they're wonderful as a breathing tool. They're about $5 on Amazon. I'm not telling you have to buy one, because you definitely don't, but you'll see what I mean how helpful it is when I start to get going. So when we inhale, we're going to inhale through our nose. And the reason we inhale through our nose primarily is because of germs. Our nose is filled with these hairs that we hate, right? We're always trying to get rid of the nose hairs, but it's actually a wonderful filter for the lungs. So we want to breathe in through our nose. And here's what we normally do. We would breathe in and out, and in and out. And if we were to count that for an entire minute, we would get say 18 to 20 breaths per minute. But here's what we're going to change to. Are you ready? So let's inhale and hold that for just a second, and then slowly exhale out your pursed lips. We're going to purse our lips just a little bit, almost like you're blowing out a birthday candle. Are you relaxed already? It's incredible. When we exhale fully, our next breath can be so much deeper because there's nothing in there. And remember that when we do exhale, we're getting rid of things that no longer belong in our lungs anymore. Our lungs are an enormous filtration system for the body. And here's a little bonus to good breathing and good exhaling, is that we exhale fat. There's fat in our carbon dioxide. So remember that too, that we're getting rid of free radicals, which are, things that we can be exposed to from the environment. We're getting rid of things that our body no longer needs, and it's not serving our body. We're getting rid of a lot of junk and used up. It's all spent. So if we're not getting rid of that every time, we're keeping some of that in our body. So we really want to start to practice a complete and full exhale. So together, let's take a few breaths like we just talked about. And what I do want to mention, I would love it to know that you are all seated right now and in a very safe place. And that's because when we breathe correctly in the beginning, it can make you feel, like a little bit of an oxygen rush. And I don't want you to feel like you're off balance or that you're unsafe at all. And if any of this breathing bothers you, especially at first, because it's a really big deal to change the way that we breathe, I want you to just go back to your normal way of breathing. So nothing that we do in this class is going to be forced. Even if you're able to do it a couple of times, you'll still feel the difference, alrighty? So let's first start with our body position. Not fussy about this at all today. The most important thing is to just really relax. We'll get into other things later, but just really relax, especially shoulders. Think about your jaw. This is another tension spot. There are people that really clench their jaw. I want you to pay attention to that for 1 second and just make sure that you've released that clench if you indeed are a clencher. I'm definitely a clencher. Allow the shoulders to drop. Relax the shoulders. Let your feet kind of dangle. I know that you're probably all tall enough that you can reach the floor. But don't have your feet holding you right now. Be firm in your bottom so that you're very safe in your chair, and don't force your feet to hold you up. We want to relax the knee joints and the ankle joints. Very good. So that's the first thing that we've accomplished, is just a very comfortable position. Now the second thing that I want you to start to do, and again, none of this is forced, it's all just things that as we go along, we will get better at, and it will become part of our everyday practice for stress relief and resilience, is I want you to start breathing nice and slow, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out pursed lips nice and slow, and at the bottom of that exhale, let's allow all of our stress to leave by letting your head come forward, resting it on your chest just for a moment, and finishing the exhale. And then we'll inhale again, in through the nose. Hold that for just a second or two. And now we're going to relax and exhale out pursed lips. Make the exhale longer than the inhale, and at the very bottom of this exhale, we're going to allow our chin to rest on our chest for just a moment. And then we're going to inhale again. So like I said, if this breathing causes you any stress or discomfort in the beginning, just go back to your normal way of breathing, because the most important thing that we're going to do in this class is learn to be soft and relaxed, okay? So I'm going to put the Hoberman sphere down, and we will work on our thought process while we start to do some of the very gentle things with our body that we're going to do, especially when you sign up to come in on Friday mornings. So we're going to exercise the breathing, we're going to exercise the relaxation, and then we're going to exercise the brain and allow the brain to have some time where there are not a million thoughts coming through. We're going to really focus on one thing. So you're going to pick that one thing. Some people want to focus on their breath because they're doing it anyhow, and that's okay. For some people, though, that's too big of a thing to focus on. It's an inhale, it's an exhale. It's remembering to, exhale out pursed lips. You might really want to think about something as specific as, it could be a salt shaker. It could be the tip of a pen. I recommend, especially in the beginning, that we kind of keep the thought closer to us. Like when I started to do this, I would think about the tip of my nose, and just, I would try to not let the thoughts go further than that. And remember, when you do have other thoughts, let them come and just let them go. And let them come and just let them go. There's no stress. Alrighty, so I'm going to start some music. This is really beautiful music that we're going to be inhaling and exhaling to the sound of a gong. So when you hear the gong, we will either be inhaling or exhaling. That will allow our body movements to start to work right along with the music. And it's a really wonderful connection. It's very much like Tai Chi works on us, where we are inhaling and we're doing a movement, we're exhaling and we're doing a movement, and sometimes we will have music to that. So it's extremely relaxing and helpful and focusing. So I'm going to start some really pretty music with us.
Breath connection.
Let's inhale here and exhale. If you can hear the ocean, that ocean is meant to sound like theta waves. Exhale, which are very relaxing to the brain. We're going to inhale up and exhale. Very good. Make sure we're staying nice and relaxed in our bodies. We're going to inhale, exhale fully. Normal inhale and a gentle exhale. Very good. We're going to take our hand up and hold it in front of our palm so that your palm can feel the breath. And when we inhale and then we exhale, I want you to feel that exhale on your palm. And at first we're going to start with a 4-second inhale and a 4-second exhale. Are you ready? So nice and gentle. We will inhale through the nose and exhale. And then inhale and then exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Very good. And relax that hand. So you can feel your exhale, which is very important. We're going to do a little bit of arm movements here. So just very gentle. We will slowly move our arms up and down to get the elbows lubricated. Very easy. Let's inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. In and out. In and out. Inhale. We're going to open up our arms. Ready? So here we go. We will inhale here and exhale.
High sprinter.
Inhale, exhale. the shoulders, warming up those shoulders a little bit. Inhale and exhale.
Shake left leg.
Inhale and exhale. Very good. Now let's take our hands and give them a little shake as we're inhaling and exhaling. Up and down, loosening up those wrists, circling. This is very good for us, believe it or not. It seems like it's not very purposeful, but it's very purposeful to do that. This is how we would open up doors and drawers and relaxing those wrists and letting the joints have a little bit of stretching, and then shake the upper body. Good. Let's inhale.
Exhale.
Out.
Inhale.
In.
Exhale.
Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. We're going to have a little change here.
Step back.
We're going to have one arm go up. Inhale. And then switch them around. Exhale.
Inhale.
Inhale.
Exhale.
And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale.
Arch back.
And exhale. Very good. Hands back onto our lap. Let's put our feet on the floor just for a second, and we're going to gently arch our back towards each other. So you're going to come towards me, and then we'll roll back just a little bit. So we'll inhale here and exhale here. Inhale,
Inhale.
opening up the shoulders and the chest, and exhale.
Inhale.
Inhale, nice and gentle,
Exhale.
and exhale. And opening up the chest, rolling the shoulders forward, exhaling. Inhale,
Bend inside.
very good, and very gentle. We're going to go off to one side and then back up. So it's just a little bit. I don't really want you to affect your discs at all in your back. So it's really like a little stretch and not a big tip to the side. We're going to inhale and exhale. In and ex. Inhale and exhale. Very good. Nice. Relax. Shake everything out.
Breath activation.
Let's go back to our palm again. We're going to time ourselves so that we're inhaling for 4 seconds and exhaling for 8 seconds. So that's a big change from the last time when we did 4 and 4. So let's practice that. And remember, if it ever feels stressful to you, I really want you to just go back to your normal breathing, okay? So nice and gentle, let's inhale for 4. And then exhale right here for 8.
Breathing sequence and start. 4, 4.
Quite a difference, isn't it? Let's inhale again, ready? And exhale. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 4
Repeat breathing pattern.
and exhale for 8. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale
4, 12.
and exhale. Very good. And now you can put that hand down. We don't want to stress our wrists or anything. Let's rub our hands together. I'm going to turn the music down. It's quite a difference with the breathing, isn't it? We don't realize how shallow we're breathing until we pay attention to it. So breathing is one of the only functions of our body that we have control over. We don't necessarily have control over other things that happen automatically, like our heart rate or our digestion, but we can control our breathing, and there's a reason that we can control it, and it's because it can take us from a nervous state to an extremely relaxed state in just a matter of minutes. So it's a real tool for resiliency to learn to breathe well. It can take you from an anxiety feeling to an extremely peaceful feeling in just a few seconds. Maybe not the very first time you try it, but as you practice it. There's also many great health benefits to breathing well. It's oxygenation. It can change us on a cellular level. So the breath is really important to us, as is the next thing that we're going to do, which is a little bit of just self-massaging. It's very gentle and it's very easy to do, and it's also a technique that can help us reduce stress in a very challenging and difficult time. So the first thing is we're going to take our hands and rub them together and get some of that beautiful heat and energy going. So you'll feel some nice warmth and energy in your hands. And once you feel that heat, on the count of 3, I want you to take that heat and place it where you need it. So some people it might be their neck, some people it might be their shoulder, but any place in your body that you feel like you have a little bit of uncomfortable feeling or that needs a little bit of extra TLC. So ready? 1, 2, 3, and go ahead. Place it somewhere that you feel could bring you some relief. Very good. And allow that heat to penetrate in through your skin. This is a wonderful self-healing technique where you've got the heat yourself. You don't need to use a heating pad or anything like that, or a hot water bottle. It comes right from you, so you can do it anywhere. And it's a really nice technique to relieve stress and to help your own self get rid of some of your uncomfortable feelings. Alrighty, so it's extremely empowering that you can help yourself with that. Then the next thing that I'm going to do is just bring out a little bit of cream. And you don't have to bring the cream to class if you don't want to. You don't have to use cream if you don't want to, but it can really help with just a little bit of lubrication on the hands. So I am going to use a little bit of cream. I start with putting a little bit on the back of my hand, get my hair out of the way. And I will take that cream and first start with just getting my fingertips a little bit moist. It's like a little drop, and I'm going to take that hand and bring it behind my shoulder. This hand is going to help this arm, and I'm cupping my fingers like this and placing my fingers just behind my back, between my scapula and my spine. So we're only touching muscle. We're not touching any bones or joints or anything. And I'm just going to take my fingertips and draw them up this way. So I'll use this hand to help my arm, and then I allow that cupping to just rub that one muscle that's between the shoulder blade and the spine. So there's no joint involved there at all. So I'm going to do that now with you. We'll push our hand back and cup the hand, just putting the fingertips into the muscle, and then just allow that to come forward. Good. Now when we push back, let's inhale and exhale as we're allowing the fingertips to help that muscle. And that's a big stress muscle. That's one of our, the biggest areas that we can store stress, or we use that muscle to help the areas that we store stress. So it's working all the time for most of us. And then just let that hand fall forward, nice and gentle. You can regulate the pressure yourself, which is why this is such a wonderful self-massage, because nobody else could ever know what it feels like for you except for you. So it's a great technique when you're feeling stressed. You know how hard you can cup. Some people really love a harder massage, and some people like it to be very soft. Although I will say that there's relatively new evidence that hard massages where the person actually says ow, even if they love it, it's not good for us. And I'm one of those people that likes a harder massage, but it's not good for us. Anything that we are doing to ourselves that causes inflammation is not good for us. They really don't recommend it. So do this 4 or 5 times on one side. And then we're going to switch to the other side. I'm going to just get some of the cream on my other fingertips. Same thing over here. Use this hand to help that arm reach back, and then just gently bring that up. You might feel some bumps in that muscle, and I don't necessarily want you to do anything to them. Just be aware of them. Those are really areas that have been holding stress if you do feel some bumps. This will help that. You know, if you were with a professional masseuse, they would probably work on those little knots in your muscles, but I just want you to gently rub them just in one direction. Good. Bringing that all forward, nice and easy. 4 or 5 times on each side. Excellent. And then bringing the hands back forward again. And we're going to take just our fingertips and just tap your chest right along your clavicle, above it and underneath it, never on the throat area. It's always right down here, across the front. Very good. Inhaling and exhaling. This area gets very little attention. Masseuses don't really even touch the chest area too often. And it's an area that works very hard. Now take just the fingertips and gently just rub little circles right underneath and above the clavicle bone. This area this is the beginning of where we're constantly breathing all day and all night, we hope, right? We should be breathing all the time. So these muscles are working always. This is the beginning of our chest muscles. Excellent. Now we're gonna make a very soft fist. So I'm not clenching at all, it's very gentle. And we're gonna start up at our shoulder. Now remember, anything that I'm doing that you're like, well, my shoulder is not, I have pain in my shoulder, I don't wanna do that. Just don't do it. Nothing that we ever do should make you feel uncomfortable or feel any pain at all. But we're gonna take a very gentle, closed hand and just softly tap around our deltoid muscles. Very easy, letting the arm kind of hang onto our lap so it's not doing any work at all. And all the way down, a little bit more gentle around where the joint is, and then down the front of the arm, the forearm. You can go right down the bones of the hand, nice and gentle, turning the hand over, tapping in the palm, and then back up that arm. Good. Across the chest with both hands now, nice and easy. Remember not to touch the neck area at all. All the way across, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. Letting that arm really relax. Gentle around the joint, all the way down the hand. Turn the palms up. You can do inside your palm, and then all the way back up the underside of that arm. And again, across the chest. Very good. Shake out any stress that your arms or your upper body might feel. Your body should be nice and comfortable with your arms relaxed. We're going to take a couple more nice deep breaths. So here's the Hoberman sphere, just to give you a nice visual on what your lungs are doing. So nice and easy, let's inhale through the nose. And hold it for just a second if you can, and if you're comfortable doing so. And then very gently out, pursed lips. We're going to start to exhale, making sure our exhale is longer than our inhale. As we get to the bottom of our exhale, allow your chin to rest on your chest. And at the very bottom of the exhale, allow your whole body to just go so relaxed. And then we're going to inhale again. Filling up all of the lobes of our lungs, providing our body with the fresh oxygen that it needs, giving that oxygen a second to travel around the body before we exhale. And then exhale out pursed lips, knowing that our exhale is getting rid of spent oxygen, so we want to purge all of it. Allow your head to rest on your chin to rest on your chest just for a moment. Relax your shoulders. And then just a normal inhale. There, and an exhale. And I want a bed right now. Can somebody bring me a bed? Well, I hope you enjoyed today. I'm actually going to ask the girls here to go over this and make sure that they're comfortable with everything we went over today. And I hope that I see you here on a Friday morning. Call in and let them know that you'd like to come. It's very limited because of social distancing, how many of us can be together at one time. So please be sure that you let them know that you'd like to come by giving them a call. They would love to hear from you too. And it was wonderful to spend this time with you. And I hope that today, this little session that we had, gave you tools to use all week long if you do happen to feel any stress. And another thing that I would like to mention is that you need to drink water. It's so good for you physically and energy-wise and mentally. So hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. They recommend that we take our body weight. So for me, that's about 120 pounds. Don't I wish? We cut that in half. So if, let's say that the average person might weigh around 200 pounds just to keep it easy. 200 pounds, you would cut it in half to 100. You could drink up to 100 ounces in a day, which is actually a lot. I would recommend nothing over 90. But that's pretty much sipping water through the day, before your mouth gets dry. So try to shoot for adding some nice, fresh, clean water into your daily routine, starting pretty much as soon as you get up in the morning. Take a few sips. And I think you'll see a huge difference in your energy level too. So thank you very much for having me, and I will see you guys all next Friday.